Yo, this show just be agitating me beyond. Like, oh, girl, this show. I tell you, I don't know. They did a poll the other day on who should stay on the show and who should leave the show. I'm going to start off with that. Who do y'all think should stay on the Real Housewives of Potomac? Pick four and pick four to leave, since it's a total of 8 ladies. Huh? Tell the people who y'all think. Okay, we're going to start with the little stuff first. Robyn and Gizelle, they met up. Giselle's looking for her next victim, this other little boy that's serving them and stuff. Gizelle looking old. Anyway, and Robyn is looking like a hard 40. And they started to talk, they was briefly talking about the kids, and Grace is going off to college, and good for her. And she's going to I think a school in Florida. I think she getting the hell away from her mama. You hear me? I don't blame her. Run, Grace, run, y'all. But we wish her all the best. God bless her. She's a beautiful girl. All the girls are beautiful. The only time we have anything positive to say about Gizelle is when she's with her daughter. So can we be honest with that? It's no shade. It's all truths. Yeah. But then they started to talk about Juan and Gizelle. They had an exchange, and they was kind of arguing about it. They did a reasonably shady show. I can't believe people show up for their shows. They did a reasonably shady show, Robyn and Gizelle in Atlanta. And they took a picture with Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child. Shouts out to Shell, to Nitra. But yeah, Juan and Gizelle had a conversation. Apparently, Juan was yelling at Gizelle, giving it to her a little bit. Of course, Robyn just chuckled and had nothing to say. Robyn had the nerve to say that Juan has a hearing problem, so that's why he yells. Because he's a coach and he yells so much, so it's messed up his hearing. I don't know. I couldn't. You can't make it up. You can't. But of course, because they need each other, and because they do foolishness together, Robyn and Giselle's issues are always easily swept up under the rug. They're always easily solved. And there you go. We moved on from that. Had any other woman got into it with Juan, Robyn wouldn't let it go. But because it's Gizelle, it's over and it's done with, and boom and bam, right? Okay. So after that, they started to talk about the whole thing with Nneka and Wendy. And Nneka told Robyn not to say nothing, but I mean, what does that mean, right? So Robyn went to go tell Gizelle, and she couldn't wait to hear the bad news, and about the whole shrine situation, about how allegedly Nneka's cousin by marriage and Wendy's sister had like an exchange, and then Wendy's mama got into it. And apparently it's this whole thing about Wendy felt like Nneka them and her husband was using their name for clout to get on the show, and yada to the yada. So it's the whole thing with that, right? And, of course, Gizelle was eating it up. Moving on from that, we see Mama Dot and Candiace. We love Mama Dot. Mama Dot is hilarious. But Mama Dot would never like Chris. She would never fully respect Chris. It's so clear. When Candiace is talking about Chris, she's sneering up her nose and and all that, and making crazy faces. And, she just, I don't know. As long as everybody can respect each other and pretend to be kind, then I guess that's all you can ask for some people. Much respect to Candiace. I love Candiace. Much respect to Mama Dot. We love Mama Dot. But it's clear that she just don't like him. Whatever. Let me see. Anything else small happened? I don't think so. I don't think nothing else small happened. The whole big thing of this episode was the Pickle event. Which was something that Karen and Ray made up, child. where they basically are playing tennis in a smaller version of tennis on the inside, pretty much. Or no, it was what's the game where you have the ball and it's a table and it's a little net between it and you just hit the ball over the thing, like at an arcade or whatever. It was basically that, but she called it something else, Karen in her events. But at the beginning of the episode, I forgot to talk about Nneka and her husband Ike Turner. Ike. We're gonna see why we say Ike Turner in a minute. They met up and at the airport or whatever, and they was talking, and then that's when they also was talking about the whole thing with Wendy. And apparently Ike and Eddie, which is Wendy's husband, went to the same college together. They was in a African American something or another class together, and so they know each other or something. Ike is feeling some kind of way that Eddie unfriended him on Facebook. First of all, just because we're in the same class don't mean that I talk to you, A. B, that don't mean that I even know you. I walk past people every day. I see people every day and still don't know who they are. I can tell you, I know their face, but I can tell you their names. I can tell you. When I tell you I mind the blackest part of my business and gone about my day. Because I just don't have time, especially if I sense a little shade, if I sense a little mess. You ain't even finna attempt any foolishness with me, girl. I see right through you, Casper. So, first of all, and I'm just like, what is going on? And I'm like, who goes to checking something to see if somebody is still friends with them on Facebook of all places? And I'm just like, what is happening? This Bigfoot grown man talking about Facebook. I said, oh, y'all both petty. Nneka, get you some got to be spray. I think it's the got to be real spray. Because all that gel you use in the gel, that wig down, it's starting to flake up. So get you some got to be. I think the got to be work even better to keep the wig in place and it don't flake up. Because that hairstyle gel you using, I got some in the closet. And flake up after a while. Once you continue to reapply, you got to wash it, sugar. So anyway, we get to the Pickle event. All the ladies arrive one by one. Candiace don't speak to Gizelle. Gizelle don't speak to Candiace. And you can tell that Gizelle is butthurt by it. But of course, she's not going to say it. Yeah, we all know the fallout between Gizelle and Candiace. We don't have to reiterate that. It's so interesting how Gizelle and Wendy's fallout does not even compare to her and Candiace's fallout. Yet it's clear that she can't stand Wendy. She hates Wendy more than she hates Candiace. It's very clear. All Wendy did was get you told and cuss you out about your relationship and about who you are as a person and all that. And now but Candiace went there with you. Candiace called you all kind of names. Candiace read you from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. Yet you still feel some kind of way that you and Candiace ain't. I don't get it. It's crazy. Gizelle is an interesting lady for sure. Let me see. So everybody trinkle in one by one. Pretty much everybody had on white. They look cute. It was a little awkward and weird between Nneka and Wendy. Nneka spoke to Wendy. Wendy spoke to her back, but it was just kind of weird and awkward. And I think it's because of the whole thing that Ashley started. A lot of this, most of it, if not all, stemmed from Ashley and her foolishness. With her even bringing this up to her bringing it up to Nneka. And then taking what Nneka said and bringing it back to Wendy in a messy way. And she just in back looking like she just don't know what's going on. And none of them know about Nigerian culture really, except for the Nigerians, Wendy and Nneka. None of them know about the Osu thing, and then I don't even know nothing about it, And so it's just It's such a weird and it's just something that they should not dabble in, especially all of them being who they are and looking how they look and talking about this very deep rooted African thing when it's just a play joke to them. It's just disrespectful. It's disrespectful, but they don't care. So anyway, we're gonna move on. So once the ladies stopped playing and the guys came to, Juan came. We ain't seen Juan since Robyn seen him. And he came. He's starting to show up now. They say he ain't got nothing to do. So, hey, why not finally show up, they say. It's interesting. He was super busy back then when he had a job, yet he still found time to cheat. Ain't that something? People find time to do what they want to do when they want to do it. Even the busiest person find time to do what they really want to do. Okay. So anyway, the ladies decided to sit down. Ray prayed over the food, and was it Ashley or Candiace? It was one of them or something. Asked was Nneka and what's the name good? Well, Nneka and Wendy good, and it was like, well, I don't really know you to have a problem with you. And then Nneka got slick with Wendy then, and she was just like, oh, you're just repeating what I'm saying. And Wendy was like, no, I just really don't have a problem with you. And she was just like, well, I thought that you did have a problem with me, Nneka. And then it kicked off from there. The back and forth, Nneka once again explaining the whole situation between Wendy's sister and the mom calling to threaten them. And, the whole rumors about how Wendy did not want Nneka, I guess, on the show or talking to any of the ladies on the show or using her name as a clout situation since they're both Nigerians and all that kind of stuff. And it got pretty heated super quickly, and Nneka was just very irritated at Wendy, and she was just very nasty and hateful towards Wendy. And just watching these two beautiful Nigerian women argue in front of the others, it's just really disappointing. It is. It was craziness. Karen showed up to play. Karen was throwing shots at Robyn the whole episode. It was funny. Juan was irritated. You could tell he wanted to cuss out Karen. And Juan definitely has an anger thing in him. I can tell. But I mean, we saw that. We've been seeing that for years for how he be talking to Robyn, snapping her up. You could tell she picks and chooses what to say to him and how to say it. Because within a second, he'll snap out on her. And you could definitely tell that one, he kept getting up to leave. On one hand, I'm sure he didn't want to hear it. But on the other hand, it's just like, well, I don't want to flip out at this lady's thing. Because, he has a lot to be angry for these days. Bless his heart. Good looking man, though, that one. He is. So, they was going back and forth. And Wendy, at one point, she got up and wanted to talk to Mia. I think she was just over the whole conversation. It was just like, oh, well, she's deflecting and she don't really want to talk about it. And she knows that it's true and blah, blah, blah. Look, we don't know what's true and what's not. And we don't care. Really? You really think we're going to have your back, Nneka? And this your first season? You came out of nowhere and this is Wendy's 4th or 5th season? Whether people like her or not, we know her. And you really think that we're going to pick your side over Wendy's? Girl, gone. So, anyway, of course, Gizelle and all of them eating it up, loving it, loving every minute of it. So Nneka is talking to Mia, I think, and then they brought up the whole thing about Eddie and Ike, Nneka's husband, about them knowing each other. And then Mia started being messy and going around and doing all this stuff. So then Ike asked Eddie, did you unfollow me on Facebook? And Eddie looking around, looking strange, like, Well, I'm just happy Eddie. I'm just happy Eddie. I'm just here to smile for y'all. Like, I don't even know what's going on. And he asked him again, and Eddie was just like, I just met you today. What are you talking about, child? And then Nneka started to speak. Ike snapped her up, like Ike Turner. Ike snapped her up real quick and put her in her place. And then Ike was getting a little rowdy with Eddie. And Wendy was standing right by her man, as she should. And she talking about, oh, let the man speak. Let the man speak. I can't stand that kind of stuff. Oh, this is a man's talk. Let the men talk. Let the women. No. We a couple. We equal. We one. Whether it's two men, two women, or a male or female. If I'm your partner, I'm standing beside you. We thumping together. Straight up. See, I'm tired already. That's why I don't fight. I give y'all a good 2 minutes, and I'm out after that. I'm out. So if I ain't knocked you down in 2 minutes, then I'm finna run. Or I'm finna exit the scene somehow. Somebody please break it up and jump in. Because I can't take all the energy. I can't. But anyway, yeah, I don't like that whole stuff. Look, we fighting together, period. But anyway, they kind of diffused the situation. But Ike really sitting over there steaming and upset. I'm like, Ike, you can't be this mad. You don't let Nneka hype you up and stuff. And where is all the classiness, Nneka? Because you was acting like a gutter snipe. You was ready to fight. You was ready to fight Wendy, and your husband was ready to fight Eddie. It was real love and hip hop. Like, I said, oh, Nneka, maybe you're on the wrong show because you're not of Potomac. In the upper echelon. You don't come from that. You may have the money, but your actions show something very ghetto and ratchet. You don't belong here. I want Karen to go back to her season 1 foolishness and give Nneka an etiquette book. I said, Lord, it's just a mess. Clearly, we know what side Nneka's on. I mean, my goodness. My goodness. We all know why Nneka's here. We all know that Nneka's here to put Wendy off the show. And we don't need Wendy. We have a new Nigerian, We all know what it gives. Eventually, the longer you stay on the show, Nneka, they're going to come for you too, sis. It's going to happen. It's all a matter of time. If you get a second season, they're going to be coming for your marriage next. It happens to everybody. Just ask everybody. With that said, I'm MrChalaki. MrChalaki on Google Plus. Follow me at Skinsware Instagram and Twitter. At Skinsware89 on Snapchat. Chesking on Facebook. MrChalaki on Cash App and PayPal. And as always, run me my money or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. Stay black. Stay tuned. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.